Okay, state your name for the camera.
David Southgate.
Okay, carry on.
Might want to change that so that's clickable. Your controls seem a bit weird to get your hand in that position. I'm not sure what would work better. Maybe something on the mouse for jumping or polarity. Okay, jump over those.
Yes, you can. I think. So you're finding that jump to slow you down is just easier. Signify a change in lanes, I presume.
Okay. Slight delay on jumping after a previous jump, I think. Oh no.
So is there anything confusing you at the moment?
Not particularly. The switch might be a with the sound effect as well. So,
Do you actually feel the need to change? Or is it just too easy for that?
Might be a bit too easy. Because you can dodge or jump over a lot of them. No, it's I'd say probably the double spawns.
Yeah, but for this stage in the game, if this was to be your first, first minute into the game, you think that it's fairly like a fair challenge for anyone?
It's quite.
Yeah.
This start adding more. Make it so like you've got 3 all in a row, and you have to either pick the right one or change. Get through it.
Yeah. It gives that variety of gameplay of level design.
Yeah, and you can either play it by trying to dodge and jump, or you can use your reflexes and go for the color switches.
Okay, you happy?
Yeah.
Right, okay. We'll have some post-game questions then. It seems like you've just turn it off.
How'd you get out of it?
Escape probably, or Alternex.
Is there no way to get out once
Yeah,
in
just
the
try
game?
the exit.
Close it.
Or just die.
Or just die, yeah, that works.
Yeah, so there's no actual feedback there to actually get out any better. But yeah, so what was your first impression?
What regards?
Your
Visually,
first impression of the game
itself.
the layout, everything. What, just general, your general feeling.
seems nice. There's apart from what I said about maybe ramping it up, because it does seem a bit slow. Because once you got the hang of it,
It was
like
just
yeah, you don't really need to do much. Like I didn't need to change polarity, so it was just tap in, move up and down, and jump.
yeah. So it become monotonous. Would you say?
After a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Like starting off like that's gonna be really good, because it'll get people used to it. It's just like, oh, here's a little thing, try and dodge it.
Mm.
But then when you get further in, it's like, oh, here's a little thing, try and dodge. It's like, oh, I've just dodged like 100 of those.
So initially, your first impression was good, and then as you progressed, your
Yeah.
impression changed. You'd say.
Yeah, it needs to get a bit more difficult as you go in further along into it.
Was there anything you found frustrating?
Only the noise of
The-
switching lanes,
Yeah.
because there wasn't any music in the game, so everything's really quiet, and then it's just boom, boom, boom whenever you're switching.
Right. Okay. Did you think the game dragged at any point?
As in, I'm just
As in became
playing
you know,
it.
the tempo, the tempo of the game.
Apart from being monotonous, the ramps with the water, that just slowed it down.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the reason for having it slowed there was.
Right. But were there any particular aspects you found satisfying? In particular.
The whole idea of it's quite nice. Like I can see there's going to be a lot of potential to, and it's going to reward quick reflexes once it starts to get a bit more difficult.
Apart from that, what was the most exciting moment you found in the game?
Wouldn't really say there was a specific exciting moment.
No.
No.
Nothing that actually piqued your interest and you thought, wow, that's cool.
Well, there was nothing that stood out. Like, the whole concept of like teleporting to the lanes is quite interesting, but then nothing's like happening.
Right.
That'll be like, oh, boom, here's something really interesting.
Yeah.
Like, say, like when I got over 100 points, something could have happened.
So did you feel like in that regard it was too long, maybe? Like without any sort of rhythm change or gameplay design or game level change?
Yeah, like even if it's just something like with a graphic, like when you hit a certain amount of points, maybe you'll speed it up, or maybe your guy'll change a little when once everything's fleshed out and he's got more graphics to him.
Apart from everything, the tempo changes and all of this, was the objective clear to you?
Yeah, don't run into stuff.
Okay. But can you describe, if the objective, describe what you thought the objective was? And was it, apart from whether or not it was clear, can you...
Don't die.
Don't
and
die.
Keep going and get a high score.
So what choices did you make, and if you did make choices, what were the important ones?
The only big choice seemed to be whether I wanted to play by jumping over stuff and switching lanes, or try and switch polarity and keep in the same one. But you really only need one or the other. So there probably needs to be a way to combine the two.
So you would say your strategy for winning was fairly clear?
Yeah.
Right. So it didn't actually put you in any sort of situation where you thought, oh god, I don't know what to do here.
No, it was just,
Yeah.
oh, I'll just change lane, or I'll just jump over that.
Yeah, right. Apart from that, did you find any sort of graphical fidelities, anything sort of like bugs or glitches, anything like that?
The only thing
that
is
we could improve?
the only thing is the buttons.
The
Like
buttons.
when you click a button, you want to click in the middle, or I do anyway. And you clicked in the middle, they didn't work. It just went into the you've selected this text.
Yeah.
So you had to click off the middle.
How about when, say for instance, you went to close the game?
Oh yeah, that was like you had to die
Right.
Which I suppose is going to be quite easy to do because you just don't do anything for a few seconds.
So you couldn't close the game down when you wanted.
Not in the game. You had to die and then go back to the menu.
Yeah.
So maybe if you just had something where you just pressed escape and then just went back to the menu.
So apart from closing the game down and pressing the buttons in the center to change rooms, what other elements do you think could be improved?
I assume there's going to be more graphics to the actual guy running.
Right.
Because, it's just a plain stick man running around. So if he's fleshed out a bit, it's going to be a bit more interesting, I think.
So you'd say most of all elements to improve would be graphics.
Yeah, because it's all just plain color blocks.
But apart from the graphics, was the actual gameplay and the core concept of the game appealing to you?
Yeah, it feels like an old arcadey style game. Put your coin in and see if you can get the high points.
Right. So did the controls make sense as well? And
yeah, they made sense. It's just a little awkward to keep shift and space and W and S all together.
Right. Apart from that, then, was everything you saw on the screen intuitive? The information, was there enough information? Too little?
Well, it's all very basic, so I'll probably say there's enough information. It's just, the controls are quite simple. There's only 4 buttons to actually press, so all you need to say is, okay, these buttons do that, and then after a few seconds, you know what to do. You just need to dodge the things.
So in regards of say like more of an arcadey feel, like you said earlier,
yeah,
would you think it'd need more point scores, that sort of thing, more sort of information on the screen like that?
Yeah, well, you can see the points on the side, but I didn't really notice them until about halfway through. I was playing. That was a timer, was it?
That was actually telling you how long you were playing for.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't see if there was a points.
No. We haven't actually introduced one yet.
I'd probably try and have a points thing, and then to go with like trying to to incentivize the use of switching lanes and switching priority. Maybe you could have a points multiplier if you stay in the same lane,
right,
or something along those lines.
Okay. So apart from everything like we just mentioned, did you feel anything like control wise that was a bit off, apart from where your pinky had to go on the shift key? Did it feel clunky? Other than that, like, could it be improved? Where would you put the keys if it was up to you?
I'd just put an option to let people set their own keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, because not everyone's hands are going to be the same. Like what's comfortable for me isn't going to be comfortable for the next person.
Of course.
And some people might want to have jump on the mouse.
Yep.
Or you can mouse wheel up or down to change the lanes.
Yep.
Or something along those lines, and just let you can keep it as it is basic. And if someone doesn't feel as comfortable, they can go back to the controls and just have it where you can edit. Like most games do, edit keys, click on it, and then press the key you want that button to be.
Thanks for that, Dave. So, last couple of questions related to the actual purchasing of the game, and recommendations and things like that. Would you actually purchase it in this state?
In its current state, no. But if it was,
you can see the potential.
I can see the potential if there was a lot of refinement. I'd go with. So
say if it was a demo, would you pick up the demo and give it a go?
Yes. If that was a demo, I'd have a go at it, and then if they released that, where everything was more fine-tuned, and you had the options to change your keys, and the graphics of everything looked a bit filled in rather than just plain blocks, I'd probably buy it.
Right, okay, so that's actually answered the next two questions about whether or not you felt anything attracted you towards it or anything felt missing.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay then. Would you recommend it to anyone in its state?
In its current state, probably not. Whereas I can imagine how it's gonna be
Yeah,
after
so,
some more work's done on
right,
it, and
yeah.
and then I probably would recommend it to other people. But
Yeah.
as it is now, no.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, so one last thing, actually, one little thing before another last thing. Who do you, who would you think its target audience is? This is a really funny question.
Initial reaction says 30-somethings who used to play the old arcade games.
Yeah.
It's just got that kind of like retro feel to the gameplay, where it's, it isn't go here, secure this objective, do that, do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just keep going until you can go no more, and then try again and try and do better than you did, and then get your mate round, and your mate can have a go, and if he beats you, you'll be on it all night trying to beat his high score.
Yeah. Okay, so you'd recommend it to a mate, to a friends of around your age then?
Yeah, but I can see how kids are getting into that as well, because it's pretty
From what
basic
age do you
setup.
think? Like, for instance, my son is 9. Would you recommend it to a 9-year-old?
Yeah, like he can probably go for quite a while on that game.
Right.
Might get a bit bored after a while, but he could physically complete it, or keep playing it for a while without dying.
Right. So last question: would you change anything, and if you would, what would it be?
The sound for the switching lanes.
Right.
Changeable controls.
Mm-hmm.
And improvement on some of the graphics. I might suggest like the color blocks actually being things.
Yes.
Like to avoid, like all the green stuff could be like trees, bushes,
right.
things you got to get around, and then all the red stuff could be something like fire.
Mm-hmm.
Jump over the pit, avoid the big flame wall.
Yeah.
Just to make it a bit more interesting, because at the moment it's just blocks moving across the screen.
Right. Well, thank you for that, Dave, and I'm going to sign off.